Let's step into part 2. Again, red, you got to know your numbers. And this ties to defining your deliverables, your products, services, solution, and your offers, how you package those products, services, and solutions. And you may just have one, so I'm going to try to put parentheses around the S on both of those. So both of these tie together to these powerful frameworks. I go much deeper on these frameworks, season 8, session 1, starting from scratch, but I want to break it down for you in a real simple way right now. Before anybody I work with starts to tell me about what they are going to do, what their product, solution, or service is going to be, or the collection of that, I call that the deliverables, I say, do you know your numbers? What do you mean, do I know my numbers? Do you know running this business, the business costs, the personal costs, if you're a solopreneur, for example, do you know your break even per year, per month, per week? So usually we go for the break even per year. For round numbers, I'm just going to use 100,000 US dollars. 100,000 US dollars, broken down, it's about 8,500 a month, broken down per week. What is 85 divided by 4? Like 4,000? No, 2,000? Something like 2,000 a week maybe. It's really mission critical that we know those numbers because that's what we got to bust through in order to get profitable. So just a real kind of basic review. Profit is the amount of money you make over your break even. Now inside your break even, there's fixed expenses, there's variable expenses, these kind of things. These are very general for you. But that's the break even part. Let's just say it's 100,000 a year. If you make over that, you're putting money in the bank, saving for the future, investing, those kinds of things. So the biggest question that I have to ask is, and even if you're in business, do you know your break even now? I have a note that continually I update so I know my break even every month. Meaning that I know my break even for the year every month. I tune any subscriptions I've added or deleted, whatever that looks like. I'm always on the idea or always on the hunt to refine that, to remove. Remove, reduce. Anything I'm not using is out. I know all my subscriptions. Just got rid of Netflix. We weren't really using it. I'm like, there's $23.99 a month. Cut out. Replaced it, by the way, with World of Warcraft because I'm playing that with my daughter. We fired that back up. We've been playing that for like 20 years. It's been a long time. Maybe not 20 years, maybe 15. Yeah, so I just know these numbers. Mission critical to know your numbers. Now, I like to take this exercise further. If you know your break even, let's just say for round numbers, is $100,000, the comfort level of income is $200,000, 2x. Comfort, 2x. Break even, 1x. 100,000 for break even, 200,000 for comfort. Presuming you don't raise your expenses. Some people, when they start rolling the dough, they're like, I'm going to buy that car. That's $500 a month payment or $1,000 a month. Then the insurance on top of it. You know, $150, $200 a month in insurance. So $700 to $1,200 more a month, which just raised your break even. So I always challenge the entrepreneurs, keep the break even where it's at. When you're at 2x, even if you get the dream level of income, which is 5x. So the framing to know your numbers, you have to know your yearly break even, and you break it down to the month, and I would just break it down to the week. You can even break it down to the day, because that's the aim, for you to make that amount in short order. I aim to have the entrepreneurs I work with, if they're new, to hit break even within 6 to 12 months. For many people, if they have a deliverable that's very needed and they're real clear about their audience, we can get that a lot sooner. If they're like, I don't know, I'm going to test measure, then we got to really refine what their deliverables are and how they package them. Does that make sense? So often we need to change the wording from you want this, to you need this. And we really have to pick something that people actually need. I'm just ethical that way. Another part of the why is ethics. So I hope this helps. Let's go back through knowing your numbers. Break even, comfort, dream. We used 100K, 200K, 500K. My goal is always to park the dream revenue as the main goal. To say 500K is our goal, now let's break it down. How can we get there without breaking ourselves? How can you get to $500,000 in sales per year or income per year without crushing it? Some people are like, yeah, if I coach, I'm going to coach 10 people a week. It's going to be $40 a session. That falls way short of even break even. You know, if we figure out $10, $40 a session, $400 a week, like, but That's not going to work. So we have to bring in leverage, these kind of things. This helpful as you break that down? So what's a powerful prompt of rectitude for this? So clear. Hey, and if you're up for this, you can do this. Some people are afraid to do this because they don't want the world to know, and the world meaning AI, even though, hey, we'll keep that in its own little pocket. One caveat to that, and I'll read that for you in just a minute, about Meta AI. That's Facebook's AI. I'll read that for you as soon as I get done with this illustration. The concept, though, is this. You do the research, look through bank statements, look through your credit card statements, and you put together everything you owe or everything you pay every month. And then you put it in a table or a spreadsheet, and you feed that spreadsheet to any form of AI, ChatGPT, Gemini, which is Google's AI. Don't do it with Meta, Facebook's AI, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. Grok is what I use. That's X's AI. I paid a premium fee for that. I just love Grok. It's done everything I need. Anyway, you say, listen, here is the amount of expenses that I have on average per month. Maybe it's a mortgage payment, car payment, lease payment, for business, for example, some insurances, health insurance, da-da-da-da. Can you help me refine my break-even expenses to reduce them 5 to 20%? So first and foremost, you got to get clarity on what those are. Then you give it to AI and you say, listen, let's do this. Now I want to know, do the math. Once this is refined, what's 2x break-even? What's 5x break-even? These are my comfort and dream levels of income. It's great to do that in a thread in AI, because then the next step is, listen, I'm thinking about offering 3 tiers of coaching. One-on-one coaching, group coaching, and then for the people who don't maybe have the money to do either of those, a monthly program that I'll teach for a while and maybe do a group Zoom. Fastest, faster, and fast levels of serving and supporting your growth. Fast is the monthly training, just like I do, monthly community. Faster is the mastery community. Fastest is one-on-one working with me every week. So fast, for me, is the monthly training and just the monthly training. That's where you just get access to the trainings. You don't get access to me. You can comment and I'll respond to that, so there's a little bit of access. Mastery communities are group work. So it's the monthly trainings plus high performance group coaching plus 2 Zooms per month. Second Saturday of the month, fourth Wednesday of the month. Then if you want to go beyond that, it's one-on-one. That's very limited and it's very expensive. So now we can feed AI that. Here's what we're delivering. Here's the price points. Help me get to $500,000 a year, presuming that's your dream level of income, by selling these. Give me scenarios. You would feed AI this. These are the things I'm thinking of offering. The fastest level of service is one-on-one work with me for this price per session or per month. And I want 10 people there. Faster is my group work, and I want 50 people there. And fastest is an unlimited amount of people. It's just me training, and people can get in and get that guidance, direction, those kind of things. And I could have unlimited amount of people. Can you draw me up scenarios for really making this work? And that's the powerful prompts of rectitude through the lens of these 2 red areas. I do want to bring up, and I talk about this in way more depth in our Starting From Scratch Session 1, Season 8 training and business mastery, is the 3 different kinds of income that I generally look at. First is red, trading time for money. That's TT4 $. Trading time for money. That's not typically scalable, can be, and I'll go back through that model in a minute for you. The other one is recurring revenue. That's where we can get leverage and scale. And then finally, percentage of sale, percentage of profit. So for example, the camera that I'm looking at is the Lumix GH5 Panasonic camera. In 2017, 2018, 2019, people were asking me, tell me about your studio. How'd you set it up? So I put together, still out there, a blog post, the Studio in the Sky setup. In it, I linked to Amazon, and I linked that camera, and I said clearly, if you click on this and you buy it, I will get compensated a small commission for it. Every time somebody bought the camera, that was $80 of commission, because it's a $2,000 camera at 4%. Bunch of people bought the camera. Got a check, I got a bank transfer, 90 days later, that's how Amazon works, for it, whatever 80 times 6 is, $480. If I did the math right. That's percentage of sale, percentage of profit, right? So that's affiliate income, commission income. Recurring revenue is when people sign up for your monthly program, or people sign up for group coaching on a recurring basis. We're going to be coaching unlimited, meaning every month will be there, and there's no end date to this. That's how the master communities work for 8 years. And you sign up and you get rebilled every month. That's recurring revenue. Trading time for money can be going to a job, working 40 hours, getting paid for those 40 hours. Loosely, it can be one-on-one coaching, right? Because you're trading time for money through that lens. And that's very limiting. So I always teach the entrepreneurs to leverage and going after recurring revenue, and then also thinking about percentage of sale, percentage of profit. A couple other ideas for percentage of sale, percentage of profit. If you've got money in the bank and you put it in a dividend fund or a dividend ETF fund, and you get, let's just say 5, 10, 15% per month or per year on that dividend fund, that's percentage of sale, percentage of profit. Meaning that you got an amount of money, let's just say it's 10K, and you get 10%, that's $1,000 a year divided by 12, so it's a certain amount per month, about $85 a month. That's income, that's investment income. Is that helpful? We can go ultra deep in this area. I just want to make sure we went over the 3 types of income that I kind of concentrate on. So many people's natural proclivity is to stick with trading time for money. And I'm like, listen, if we do the math to get to $500,000, you're going to have to be charging this. Do you feel like you can charge this, which is usually very high? And you're like, oh my gosh, how would I sell that? People are doing that, by the way, selling things for extremely high pricing. But sometimes we have to bring in leverage and other ideas for creation of income on a sustaining level. And that, hopefully that helps through that lens. So to kind of break down the frameworks, we've got break even, 100,000, comfort, 200,000, dream level, 500,000. How do we get there? Trade time for money, recurring revenue, percentage of sale, percentage of profit. And usually it's a little bit of all 3, or a lot of the number 2, recurring revenue, a little bit of 3 and a little bit of 1. With the people that I work with down the road, when they reflect back, that's how they started in one area and then they built from there. And that's how that can work. So hopefully the powerful prompts that I provided for you earlier are there, but there's a bunch of prompts that you can come up with through this lens. Listen, I want to build a $500,000 business. I do not want to trade time for money. Give me 20 options. You can do that in Grok and say deep search it, which means it's going to go out and do the research. It's going to comb stuff. Do it in Gemini. It will go through the YouTube library. Like, it's amazing what happens. Gemini is owned by Google. YouTube's owned by Google. I want to create recurring revenue. Here's my knowledge set, my skills, my wisdom that I've accumulated. I think I can teach this stuff. Can you help me sort out what that looks like to hit $500,000 a year, how I might offer that, how I might package that. And I would love to consider monthly programs or a group scenario with a recurring subscription revenue kind of thing. Break it out for me. Now, of course, you can say, listen, here's my skill set, here's this. Help me formulate my first 12 months of my tradings. And the first one should be starting from scratch. So help me formulate the outline of what I want to teach in that starting from scratch training, session 1. Is this helpful? That's where this goes. That's where this goes. This is the power of leveraging your wisdom, your knowledge, your skills with AI today. And I hope this helps. Now there's 4 different areas we got to concentrate on. We're going to be breaking them down in a minute. I just want to touch on them again. We touched on them a little earlier. We really got to concentrate on making a deliverable, that's the D, exceptional. Exceptional product, exceptional service, exceptional solutions. We've really got to concentrate on making our sales process, the system of sales, exceptional. Really mission critical there. Then we got to get the qualification process to find people dialed in so much that it's a natural attraction source for the right people and a repellent source for the wrong people. And you might be being like, what the heck does that mean? It means when people land on it, it's like, listen, if you want to work with me, I'm about care, compassion, love, unconditional love. I'm about truth, honesty, growth-mindedness, ambition-oriented, and great energy. And if these things resonate with you, fill that application out below. If they don't, I'm not your person. Thanks for stopping by. Bye. That's pre-qualification on a lead form or a sales page or a lead page. Like if you put up a scoreboard around your competency, for example, the AI scoreboard. How well are you leveraging AI for life? The AI scoreboard for business. How well are you leveraging AI for business? Are you having AI help you build out deliverables, make them exceptional, iterate them? Are you having AI help you build out your sales process so you get more conversion? Are you having AI help you build out your lead process so you can get qualified people? Are you having AI help you, and that's a big part of my other business, put out great information about you in an emotionally connective and resonating form, cross spectrum, for the pertinent places people are looking for the kind of services you provide. Whether that's in Google, whether that's in Google Business Profile, whether that's in TikTok, whether that's in Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever it is. Do you have best practices for that? That's the essence of the ALC Bullseye through the lens of AI today. And I hope this serves.